Silver and Blue Huddle is back with another episode, a special edition, all-season edition of Silver and Blue Huddle. We got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of exciting things to talk about. Training camp is here. Football is near, a few weeks away from kickoff of preseason. I think the Hall of Fame game is actually next week, so I'm looking forward to finally football being here for the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. So starting next Thursday, we're going to have football from Thursday all the way to February when we celebrate our Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. But hey, got my man Ed Spur Corner here. Mike is actually out of town, but me and Ed sit here. I didn't feel right doing a solo episode, so me and Ed is up here to talk about our Dallas Cowboys and how it's our year again. But let's kick it off with the elephant in the room, which is actually Micah Parsons. The man still ain't got a contract. Still. And I know we talked about it a few weeks ago that we wanted Micah Parsons to be signed a few weeks ago. But here we are, damn near like a month. He still ain't signed.
And not only is he not signed, but now it's going to cost the Cowboys an additional $7 to $10 million a year for Micah Parsons, because when we talked about it a month ago, TJ Watt still wasn't signed.
Right.
Max Crosby got his money. Myles Garrett got his money, but TJ Watt hadn't been signed yet. So the price tag was around $37 million a year for Micah Parsons, and they had an opportunity to sign him. And now we look up and TJ Watt's got 41 plus a million a year. So Micah's got to be around that number, right? Obviously you think Micah Parsons, TJ Watt are kind of in that same category. So Micah's going to get 42, 43, somewhere around there. So my problem is that, and it's just par for the course for this front office, right?
Right.
Last year we did the same thing with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. We waited to the 12th hour to sign Dak Prescott. Literally, as he's warming up for the Cleveland Brown game, we signed him to a contract.
Right.
You wait, CeeDee Lamb misses all of camp, so him and Dak Prescott aren't on the same page, and it costs you about $9 million extra a year for those two to get signed if you would have just signed those two when you had the opportunity before some other people got paid. So it's mind-blowing to me that we're doing this. But then, Rich, they go an extra step, and now you got your owner coming out and bashing Micah Parsons as if Micah Parsons not putting up double-digit sacks every single year. Right. He said Micah missed 6 games. No, Mike only missed 4, still had double-digit sacks. He missed 1 game his rookie year. He missed no games year 2 or 3, and he missed 4 games last year. And even Micah's last year, when he was out, said he wanted to come back, and the Cowboys wouldn't let him come back early. They wanted him to rest another game. He said he was ready to go.
Right.
So it's frustrating when your best defensive player is saying things like, if this is the end, then it's the end. If they don't want me here, I'll go somewhere else. I understand the business part of it. Right. This sucks to be a Cowboy fan and see him going through this.
It definitely does. And Jerry Jones is running his mouth about a player that's actually in training camp. Like, you would think that Micah Parsons is not in training camp, while Jerry Jones is up to saying this about Micah Parsons, how he's injured. And Micah is probably just like a few feet away from Jerry Jones. Like, Jerry, you realize he's actually in training camp, right? He's like probably right behind you. Like, how you talking about the man and he right in the same space as you? Like, Jerry Jones, I'm just going to chalk it up that Jerry Jones is old, and they need to stop giving him the mic and stop having him do press conferences, because the man just say some off-the-wall stuff, because he not only attacked Micah Parsons, he also attacked Trayvon Diggs in that same press conference as well. So I don't get how an owner just continues to talk bad about his players, and then he wonder why players have the attitude that they do when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, that really doesn't make any sense at all. So
yeah, and I've said this. I got a TikTok that talks about this. Is that he continues to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. He is insane. That's all. Old, whatever we want to call it. He is bat crap crazy, right? And he says things in his brain when he looks at it and he goes back and he thinks about what he said. He thinks the Dallas Cowboy Nation is going to be on his side when he says things like, there's been no movement. We haven't even offered a contract. That just makes you look bad as the owner when you look at a guy that's been up for Defensive Player of the Year multiple years in a row, and you haven't even sent a contract to start the negotiations.
Right.
To me, if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm like, exactly what Micah Parsons said. It's funny to see guys like Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt get taken care of. I wish they did that here.
Right.
What does that say to every free agent right now that has the opportunity to pick a new team to come to the Dallas Cowboys? If I'm a free agent, I don't want to go through that nonsense in Dallas and wonder if I'm going to get paid or how long it's going to take to get. I'm going somewhere else.
Right.
And so I've asked the question, if you could switch this front office with somebody, who would you switch it with? Because there are front offices in the NFC East that don't do this. They pay their players and they pay them quickly and get them going.
There's 31 other teams that do it quickly. The Cowboys are the only ones that sit around and wait.
Listen, and Cowboy Nation is they're fed up. They're fed up. They're fed up. Look at Jerry Jones tried to talk at Cowboy camp to the fans, and they booed him off the stage, screaming, "Pay Micah, pay Micah." There's no way that Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones sit in that office and look each other in the face and go, "Man, should we really sign a guy that's going to give us 12 sacks and is the leader of this defense and a leader on this football team? Should we really pay that guy?" No, you know what? Let's keep Mozzie Smith around. Let's pay DeMarcus Lawrence. Let's pay Terrence Steele. Let's pay all those other guys who were hurt, who were too tired to play in the playoff game and decided to go somewhere else, but we're not going to pay the Defensive Player of the Year. I don't get it.
Right. And I don't understand why they just continue to wait, because they save all this cap space and then it gets gobbled up by them waiting. Like, that literally makes no sense. Like, what's the purpose of saving if you're not going to spend it on time, because it just gobbles up? And now, like you mentioned, TJ Watt actually got paid. So, Micah Parsons is going to get paid around the same amount. They could have, paid Micah months ago, and then obviously TJ Watt would have came in and reset the market again with his contract. You don't want to be the player, the second player to get paid, because Micah's just going to raise the bar. Like, that's all they're going to do. Cause the Cowboys wait.
What happens if he won't sign? Let's say that the Cowboys offer him a contract and Micah goes, "You know what, guys? I'm going to play the last year of my contract here in Dallas, and then I'm going to see what I'm worth on the open market." We have a potential of losing one of the best defensive players in the NFL for the next 10 years and get absolutely nothing for him. Yeah. We won't get anything for Micah Parsons.
And you know what? I mean, that might be the route that he might choose if he was a smart betting man, betting on himself, is to turn down a contract offer from the Cowboys. Would I like it? No, I won't like that. But hey, it's a business. Eventually somebody's going to come along and treat it exactly just like a business and bet on themselves and go to the open market and leave their team. If he don't sign, he's probably going to be gone with the Cowboys. But I don't think he's going to go that far. But I think he'll sign. Hopefully he'll sign. But the Cowboys are now in training camp. They opened up a few days ago. I watched a few videos here and there. I don't get too excited about training camp too much. But some of the things I actually did see, some of the players stepping up, some of the different passes. Dak Prescott is still obviously throwing interceptions in training camp, but that's another topic, I guess. But I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. A little bit of energy is a little bit different. The coach tactics is a little bit different as well. I love the energy that he's bringing. I love what I'm hearing in the press conference. Totally different than what we've seen with the Cowboys coaching staff over the last couple of years. So I'm about the culture change. I love it. So what are some of the things, I know you probably a little bit more tuned in and probably maybe seen some videos and some different things. What are some of the things that you've seen from the training camp so far that you like?
Yeah, obviously the George Pickens trade is something that just jumps off the screen when you watch that, right? George Pickens is going to be a monster in this offense. And then you pair him with a top 3 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. This offense is going to be dangerous. I think the big thing for me when I look at training camp is I'm kind of like Rich, right? I don't read too much into what I see, guys picking the ball off, Dak throwing interceptions. I don't really read too much of that because you're working on things, you don't know what the video doesn't really tell you what they're working on. They could be doing third and long situation, and that's that hope that whole segment that you see. So it's 3rd and 15 plus, and they're trying to stretch the ball. They could be working red zone. They're trying to fit it into tight windows. There's just so many things that people don't really know about in the video. But I like what you brought up. You talk about the energy. If we were to put the two training camps next to each other from Mike McCarthy and now Brian Schottenheimer, you would instantly see a difference, right? Schotty has built a culture. And that's the one thing that I love the most about what he's done is that he's talked about in the press conferences about this is a family culture. We got the offensive coaches go to the defensive side in warm-ups. The same thing with the defense to the offense. We're building not just this side, that side. It's a group. The things Schotty has done with his players, how he gets hyped up. You saw the first fight at training camp, then you saw Schottenheimer bring them all together and basically told them, y'all knock that S out. I'm not dealing with that. That's not who we are here. We want to be physical, but if you're going to do that, hit the showers. We're not doing that here in Dallas no more.
Right.
And then just to hear your $60 million quarterback talking about defensive guys and the work that they're putting in to get better. He talked about Sam Williams. He talked about Overshown being involved even though he's hurt. Schottenheimer brought both of those guys up. They've talked about their secondary. Obviously, with Trayvon being out, they've had some guys have that step up. Ezaraku, the young guy playing defensive end. If that rotation is as good as they're talking about in camp, this could be a dangerous front four. Right. But you know, it's training camp. It really doesn't mean that much until we get to some of these preseason games and in regular season to see what this is going to pan out. They got a lot of work to do, but I'm definitely loving the vibe that Schottenheimer is bringing to this team, in spite of everything going on off the field. That is a distraction, and I don't think Schottenheimer is allowing it to be a distraction. Very rare do you see a head coach stand up and talk about players in a contract negotiation. You just don't see that in the NFL, right? That's considered taboo, right? You don't speak about players that are in a contract because you work for the Dallas Cowboys. So you don't want to look like you're on the player side or the organization side to your players. You got to try and stay neutral. And Schotty is not doing that, right? He's giving advice to Trayvon Diggs. He's giving advice to Micah Parsons. And I certainly hope he's in the office with Jerry Jones. Like, come on, man, you guys got to help me help you win another championship by giving me my best defensive player. Because while Micah is at training camp, he's not really at training camp, right? He's not involved as much as if he had a contract extension. Now he's there because if he's not there, he's going to get fined and he doesn't want to lose any money, but he's not really involved. So, it's a totally different training camp than what we saw last year. Last year, it just looked like nobody wanted to be there. Like they were just there because they had to be there. And now it looks like, and the guys talking about it's Super Bowl or bust here. I didn't hear that last year, the last 10 years from the Dallas Cowboys, but you got guys now talking, if you're not here to win a Super Bowl, get out. We don't want you here. That's exciting as a Cowboy fan. We'll see what they do when it comes crunch time in that January, February timeframe.
Absolutely. And training camp is very important. So I'm actually going to take the offensive side and you take the defensive side. What is, for me, one of the things that I want to see coming out of training camp, and I hope that they actually improve on, and it's something that they should have been improving on the last couple of years, is actually red zone offense. If they can get that together and be able to score when they get into the red zone, and I mean 7. I'm not talking about Brandon Aubrey. Like, I'm glad we heard a lot from him in training camp, but I want to see them get 7 points when they're in the red zone. No more of this kicking field goals and all that good stuff. I need Schottenheimer to have red zone plays in order to punch it in when we need it, because we can't continue to have drives that stalled out on the offensive side of the ball. We got way too much firepower on offensive side. We got 2 star receivers lined up. We have a decent running back core. We got a decent offensive line. We got to be able to punch that thing in. You can't double team both of them. And then you got Jake Ferguson out there as well. Somebody's going to be open. So do some motion, do some RPOs, do some screen plays and all that good stuff to get into the end zone and get 6 points. I know Turpin, he got in a little bit of trouble in the offseason a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully he don't be missing no games, but What's the off season without a Cowboy getting in trouble? So hey, it is what it is. I'm glad it was him and not necessarily somebody that is a true impact player. Even though we do love him on special teams, I mean, it's the Dallas Cowboys. Now you know the season is on the horizon. The Cowboys off season has begun when a Cowboy player gets in trouble with the law. So
Yeah.
here we,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, Turpin got in trouble. I said, hey, he's a Cowboy. Jerry loves that. I mean, now we know the season has is on the horizon when the Dallas Cowboy gets
Yeah.
arrested. So
Yeah, and I think on the defensive side of the football, I think the biggest thing I hope that they're working on that really hurt us last year is one, run defense.
right,
They have to find a way to stop people running the football. And then the second thing that I think the Cowboys really struggled with last year is get off the field on third down. Force teams to punt the football or get those turnovers. That's another thing that they lacked last year. This is a big year for this defense. You brought Eberflus in to take over the defensive coordinator, who is Brian Schottenheimer's pick. So they know each other really, really well. He brought him in for a specific purpose. And so it's a new defense again, right?
right.
Third defensive coordinator in 3 years. So sometimes that can be very tough for younger guys. Now, obviously, veterans are able to maybe adjust to that. But obviously, those are my two biggest things. The running defense, I feel like for the Cowboys, my memory is telling me it's been years and years of horrible run defense. And I saw a video today that didn't help. Scrolling through TikTok, watching Mozzie Smith just get absolutely obliterated, blown off the football field. It was like a blur. Like he was lined up on the right, and then all of a sudden you saw Mozzie like all the way to the left. I'm like, good Lord.
How did he earn his scholarship at Michigan? Like
I'm concerned about the interior. Now, obviously, they brought Solomon Thomas over, picked him up in free agency, so hopefully he can help. They do have the OC Odigizua is there. You got Sam Williams back. You brought Dante Fowler in. You got Micah. You got a lot of good guys. You got the young rookie from Boston College, Ezaraku. So it's potential to be really good. Mm-hmm. But then you look at that linebacker core behind him without Overshown, who's still hurt, who's probably not going to be ready probably for the first half of the season. Can they piece some things together to get this linebacker crew in that front four to really stop the run? If they do that defensively, I feel like this offense is so powerful that they're going to put up 20 to 30 points a game. And if you can hold teams under 20 points in the NFL, this offense is going to win you a ton of football games. So It's going to be interesting to see.
Now, do you also think, in me just speaking on the offensive side, Dak Prescott must have the best training camp and also the best season that he's ever had in his life? I think there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott to perform and step up and be the quarterback that we all know he can be and get over those playoff failures and lead us to the NFC Championship game and possibly the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott on the offensive side of the ball because he has weapons now. So he really doesn't have any excuse anymore about underperforming, other than maybe like an injury or something like that, which we don't want that at all. But I think he's under the most pressure in this training camp in order to come out successful and play like the quarterback that we all know and hope that he can be, and maybe be like an MVP. Because 2 years ago when he had, was that the Amari and CD year where he was runner up to MVP for Lamar, and Lamar just
he should have won.
Yeah, he should have won. He had the best regular season. So
the most popular player won, not the most talented, not the most valuable, the most popular player won. So I can't say it any better than that. I mean, we could just list all the names on the screen of guys that are in a make or break year, right? And I think Dak Prescott is at the top of that list. You can talk about guys like Trayvon Diggs, Mozzie Smith, Tyler, this offensive line, you could go all the way across the offensive line. This offensive line, outside of the rookie Booker that you just picked up, this whole offensive line has to have one of their best years. You got a lot of question marks in the backfield. Obviously, none of these guys played for us. Javonte Blue, Miles Sanders, Luke Key. You got Deuce Vaughn getting highlights at training camp because you can't see him when he catches the football.
Right.
So, there's a lot of guys on this team that this is make or break years for them.
I would have Dak number
Prescott,
one, and I would probably have Trayvon number two.
Absolutely.
Even though he's not going, even though he's going to be missing some games, and he even got upset that the Dallas Cowboys docked him for like $500K or whatever. But
Yes, but here's my thing about that is that you signed the contract. You knew it was in the contract, right? You knew that you didn't meet the requirement to keep the $500,000. Like you knew about that, right?
Right.
For me, I think the big thing is that the Cowboys made it such a big deal. Like we're taking money from Trayvon. Like that didn't need to be that big of a deal, right?
Okay.
Especially because Trayvon comes out and he's like, I'm literally in talks with the training staff here in Dallas every single week. They know about my rehab. I've been here. They've seen my rehab. They know I'm on track. I'm actually ahead of schedule. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. I'm going to meet all the requirements. I don't think the $500,000 meant anything to him because if he did, he would have been over the 84% threshold, right? I think the Cowboys made a bigger deal out of it. But when you got a guy like Trayvon Diggs who came in with such momentum coming out of Alabama and had such good years to start that now he's kind of fallen off a little bit. He's lost a step or he's had some injuries. He really has to prove it because he got paid. So now it's time to produce, right? Where, you know, some of these guys are still under their first contract or they've already got their second contract. So they're not, you know, they're not asking to produce for that big, huge payday that they had gotten. So it's definitely Dak and then Trayvon. I'm going to throw Mozzie Smith in there because he was a first round pick. I mean, we didn't hold on to Taco Charlton this long when he sucked. We just shipped him down the road. Bobby Carpenter shipped him down the road. As much as the Cowboys have drafted well, we've had some really bad bust out of the first round. And if Mozzie Smith is not a contributor this year, he's got to go. And we can't wait 17 games, right? You got to come out of training camp like, nah, that ain't it. Or this is about to be his year. If it's not, that ain't it, he's got to go. He can't be on this roster when we kick off versus Philadelphia on Thursday night.
Right. I agree, man. Definitely. Mozzie Smith, you on the clock. You've been on the clock for a long time. This might be it for you, brother. Like you need to get it together. Get your life together, man, because you definitely were the first round pick. And like you mentioned, some of the others, Taco and these other guys, they didn't have this luxury of staying with the team. Like they was gone. As soon as the writing was on the walls, they was gone. They was shipped out. And Dallas just cut their losses with that one. But hey, it is what it is, man. But that's training camp. So I got to give you your flowers, right? Because I scroll TikTok all the time, and I see your segments, I see your content. And guys, if you haven't followed this man Expert Corner on TikTok for more Cowboy content, you need to right now because I'm not going to steal his thunder. A little bit. When I saw the content, I was like, yo, that is brilliant. Why haven't we done that on Silver and Blue? The over under content that you've been putting out the last couple of weeks, I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but I am going to maybe do one. I do one, and I encourage everybody else to go to this man's TikTok and follow him and participate in his over and under. I think I've seen it on YouTube as well. I'm
putting it everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm putting it everywhere.
I love it. I don't know how I didn't think of this or how we haven't already done this before, but I'm not going to steal it. That's his content. Let's give him a follow. Let's go give him a follow. But the Dallas Cowboys over under had 6 wins last year. Obviously, we coming back. I have big expectations for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
I would say. Obviously, I think they're gonna win more than 6 games. Over 6 games. I'm not even sure if that's how you even do the segment, but Dallas Cowboys over 6 wins, right? Yes,
definitely. I think they double that. I put a video out and went through all of the opponents. I think they go 12-5. I think this team has the potential to be really, really good. And if they get this defense to get some sort of run defense, this team can be dangerous. Now, listen, there's a lot of what ifs about this Cowboy team, right? Because they did win 6 games last year. We got to pump the brakes a little bit and expect, they're not going to come out and be gangbusters. But I really think when you look on paper, this team is talented on offense. It's got talent on defense. And if they figure some things out on the defense side of the football and these offensive guys gel, 6 wins will be before the bye. Right. Before the bye week, they will have more than 6 wins.
I will hope so. I mean, because looking at their schedule, once we get past Philly, I think it's pretty cake after that. You got the Jets.
Yeah, the first half is
Giants.
Is easy.
I mean, there's no reason why the Cowboys can't win like their first 6 or 7 games, like off rip.
Yep.
And then, the second half of the season comes in. But If you guys want more over under on the Dallas Cowboys, go check out my man Expert Corner on TikTok, on YouTube, and he would give you the best Dallas Cowboy content. Over under, he's doing a lot more other stuff as well. So we're not gonna harp on that a little bit. I encourage you guys to go follow him, but I wanted to give him his flowers because I saw it. He did Dak Prescott, he did CeeDee Lamb. I was like, why didn't I think of that? Or why did we not already have this on the segment? But that's your content, so enjoy that. I love it. I'm a big fan of it.
Appreciate that.
Huge fan of it. So obviously we talked about it. Jerry Jones having press conferences for like an hour and he got booed, which was rightfully so. Pay Micah. What else are we talking about?
Yeah, so I know we had talked about the hype videos from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
And listen, I get it. You got Dak Prescott out here running around like a horse, like he riding a horse. If you aren't paying attention to what Schottenheimer is doing, it can look a little suspect. It really can. And if you're a fan of another team, and I've seen plenty of videos making fun of it, but here's the thing. When I look at that and I see a $60 million a year quarterback having the time of his life, hyping up his team, along with the other veterans on that team, to get guys ready to go. Let's have fun today while we work. I like to see that because it looked like a funeral last year when Mike McCarthy was here. And so if that's what I got to see is guys riding around on broomsticks or whatever they were doing, they're dancing, they're doing high knees. I mean, it looks like fun, and it makes me want to go play for the Dallas Cowboys because I enjoy seeing those guys have a good time. Now, that won't mean anything if they go out there and lay an egg versus the Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants and the Commanders, the Raiders and all those teams. It'll be brought back up and be like, well, if you wasn't a horse at training camp and you would have been getting prepared, you wouldn't be getting your tails whooped in the regular season. I'm enjoying everything about it. I am 100% on the Brian Schottenheimer wagon. If that dude says we're running through brick walls today, I need every Cowboy fan to run through a brick wall, going outside and run through the side of my house. If that's what Brian Schottenheimer says we need for the Cowboys.
Right.
I'm that bought into what he's doing for Dallas.
Right. I mean, I'm glad that you all for it because I was a little hesitant about it when I first saw it. I was like, what the hell is going on in this training camp? Like, this is a TikTok. Like, this is why the media makes fun of the Dallas Cowboys because you run around on broomsticks, running around like you're a cowboy and stuff like that at training camp. So I'm glad you maybe kind of talked me down off the clip a little bit, but I'm going to give him a chance. It's still our year. So hopefully we can all do that at the Super Bowl and at the parade when that happens back in February. So I'm just going to.
I mean, there's some fans of teams that I need to have a cease and desist order, right? If you're a Detroit Lion fan, let me just go ahead and put the cease and desist order in right now, because I want you to walk into your facility and look at the trophy case. It's empty. There's nothing there, right? There's a picture of the Dallas Cowboys 5 Super Bowls in your trophy case because y'all don't know what that feels like. If you're a Tennessee Titan fan on TikTok, on YouTube, on social media, I need you to simmer down. I need you to simmer down a little bit, right?
Talk to him.
Because you guys haven't done anything when you were in Houston. You haven't done anything when you went to Tennessee. You're not going to do anything this year either, right? Some of you guys that are fans of teams that are quick to jump on social media and be like, look what the Cowboys is doing. Have 0 Super Bowls, and you've been teams for 70 years. Yes, we have not won a Super Bowl in 30 years. But guess what? In those 30 years, neither have you. Plus 40 years on top of that. So please, I need y'all to cease and desist. Now, if you're a 49er fan, if you're a Steeler fan, and you got 5 and 6 Super Bowls, join the party. Let me know what we doing is wrong. You a Patriot fan? I would love to hear from you. But if you a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, a Lions fan, a Giants fan, a Commanders fan, a Raider fan, be quiet. Your team has been garbage just as much as the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
And worse.
Right.
They don't hang banners at AT&T Stadium for NFC championships. They are Super Bowl banners, and there's 5 of them up there for a reason. I just think it's funny. Like I saw a Lions fan on TikTok bashing Dak Prescott for throwing a pick, and they showed the pick when him throwing it into the end zone, and it looked like Malik caught it one-handed, which was a filthy catch, by the way.
Right.
But I saw a Lions fan talking about this is why they're always going to be bad, and we're up, we're doing well, and I'm like, is well making the playoffs now? Is that the definition of well? Is that what success looks like? Because if that's what success looks like, we've made the playoffs a ton in those 30 years.
Right.
But as last time I checked, what mattered is hoisting the Lombardi trophy at the end of the year as a team. You take a team picture, everybody gets a ring. That's last time I thought that was success in the NFL. And there's only one team right now and we get them opening night Thursday for the whole world to see. And I hope the Cowboys come out and put a beat down. I'll pick the Cowboys to lose because it's Super Bowl night. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to split because it's in Philly. We'll win the one in Dallas, but beat Philadelphia and write a statement on week 1. Oh my goodness.
Right. And even like just to piggyback on what you said, like teams that got 0, even teams that got 1 or 2. I mean, I won the best in school in math class, but I do know that 5 is greater than whatever your team has. Okay. If you're not the freaking Steelers or you're not the freaking 49ers or the Patriots, my 5 is way greater than what your team has. It's greater than 1. You know, I mean, Philly got 2. 5 is still greater than 2. Chiefs got 4. 5 is still greater than 4. What are we doing? And I won the best in math class, but I know 5 is greater than whatever your team has. So holler at me when y'all catch up, okay? When it's equal then, okay? Greater than or equal then, okay? So if you ain't got 5, you ain't got nothing to say to me. I'm just saying. And it's been 30 years. So again, what's taking your team so long to catch up with the Dallas Cowboys? You only got
so
1?
Easy. It's so easy, apparently.
Right.
Why haven't the Cowboys done it so easy?
Yeah, but one last thing before we get up out of here, man. Obviously, I don't know if you saw it or not, but the Dallas Cowboys are coming to Netflix in a couple weeks. Yeah. Do you have any expectations for it? I think it may be the end of August. I thought it was at the beginning of August, but either way, we know the world will be tuning in to watch the Dallas Cowboys and come up with their little jokes and stuff like that. They're going to hate on us. They're going to claim that they ain't going to be watching, but trust me, that's going to be the biggest thing on Netflix, and it ain't because of the Dallas Cowboy fans. It's going to be everybody else that's going to be watching it.
It's obvious, like when the Cowboys play on TV, they have the highest ratings. What team or everybody loves to tune in. You either or you're cheering for them to lose, but you're always watching. So when the Netflix series goes, there's going to be a lot of text messages to the country of send me your password. Cowboy series is on. I need to watch. I will be glued in. Jerry Jones was on a show called I didn't watch a lot of Landman, but when Jerry Jones was on, I watched the show because Jerry was on there. I will be glued to the TV for this Netflix series, and I can't wait. I can't wait. And there's a lot of people that are going to love that, and I can't wait for them to love to hate it as well because that's America's team. I don't see Netflix running to the Giants saying, hey, you want to put a Netflix show out as the Giants? No, they ain't doing that.
Right. Even with the Philadelphia Eagles who just won the Super Bowl, there's no road to the Super Bowl on Netflix, okay? There's no recapping that on Netflix. They coming to the Dallas. I
also want to go on. There's been a real heated debate, Cam Newton versus Jalen Hurts.
I missed it. I don't even know what it's about.
Cam Newton bashed Jalen Hurts, saying he's better than Jalen. A lot of people jumped on the bandwagon. They'd rather be Cam Newton than Jalen Hurts. Let me explain something to you. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Mm-hmm. Cam Newton got a lot of nice hats. That's it. He has no Super Bowl championships. And when I hear a professional athlete say, I wouldn't give up my career if it meant winning a championship, that let me know Jalen is better. And I hate that he's an Eagle, and we love to bash Jalen Hurts. And I can't stand the Eagles. I hope he steps on a Lego every day at different random times throughout the day. But we cannot take the fact away that Jalen Hurts led his team to a Super Bowl championship.
Right.
Regardless if you want to look at stats, if you want to look at the team around them, Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and no one can ever take that away. And Cam Newton is on ESPN with 0 Super Bowls, and he'll never get one. Was Cam Newton nice at quarterback? Yes. Cam Newton was nice. When he was nice, he was nice. Like he'd get out and run you over down the field. But Jalen Hurts did it when it mattered most.
Facts. Cam Newton wouldn't even jump on the fumble in the Super Bowl. He wouldn't even jump on the fumble. So
sad. I think they're both worse than Dak Prescott, but I need Dak to win the Super Bowl so I can put it here. Come on, Dak.
Facts.
Come on, 4.
Facts. Dak Prescott greater than Cam Newton and Jalen Hurts.
Facts. Win a Super Bowl and we can cement that.
Exactly. Well, that's Silver and Blue Huddle, guys. It was great coming to you for a special episode in the off season. Hopefully, by the time we come back to you again, it'll probably be a few preseason games played by then. Because I think football kicks off next Thursday. I'm not sure when the Cowboys has to play their first game, but we'll let 1 or 2 preseason games go by before we come back and we'll recap of what we see in preseason, who we think is going to get cut, who we think is going to make the opening roster, and then after that, we on week 1. And then, we back every single week after that talking about the performance of our Dallas Cowboys and our quest to win another Super Bowl number 6. Again, make sure you follow my man Expert Corner on TikTok, YouTube, every other platform. He has some hilarious content, great content that you won't see here on the channel here, but you will see. I want to give him all his flowers. I wanted to make sure that his content shines because he's the one producing it. He's the one that's showing it. So you might not see it here, but you will see it over there. Enjoy it in both spots. Enjoy it in both spots. If you're a Cowboy fan, you'll love us both. Okay. So any parting words before we get up out of here and we'll be back in a couple weeks? What you guys say?
I can't wait, man. I love this. This is one of my favorite things, content. I can't wait when Mike gets back and it's the 3 of us and we get a chance to talk about these Cowboy wins and losses.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I saw that.
Excited.
I didn't want to do it solo. So I was like, I cannot do Silver and Blue solo. I can't. This is not a solo podcast. It's not a Rich Black Man podcast. It's a Rich Black Man with Expert Corner and So Amazing, Silver and Blue Huddle. That's us. You won't see me do this with anybody else. These are my guys. All right, so we'll catch you guys next week. Silver and Blue Huddle, we out.